Here are my mini ponies. The one in the front is called Fionn and in the back is called Odin. Odin is wearing the halter and I'm going to hand walk Odin today. In fact, I'm going to start the 10-10 challenge with Odin today. He's recovering from a bout of winter laminitis, which was really hard to go through. When you're struggling exercising your especially non-ridden horse, I know you know how important movement is for horses and that all horses need exercise. Sometimes maybe you're lucky and you have a whole track system set up and the horses exercise themselves for a big part of the day, but not always. So we all know that horses need movement in order to stay healthy or to get healthy. And especially if you don't ride, you need to find other ways to exercise your horse. That's what this video is about. And if you don't exercise your horse, it's usually not because you don't care about your horse, but you haven't found an exercise that fit your horse and your lifestyle. Or maybe you found something and then you didn't follow through with that exercise because it actually didn't fit your lifestyle. Maybe you didn't have time or it was just too much for your horse. Your horse didn't like it. Maybe you weren't aware of it, but if you're unconsciously noticing that your horse doesn't like it, it's hard to do. So those are things that can influence the way you exercise your horse and the amount of exercise you're giving your horse. So when the options that you think you have feel wrong or are not compatible with your lifestyle, inconsistency is a logical outcome. You fall off the wagon, you feel guilty, you have to start all over again. And every time you do that and it's not a fit, it makes it harder and harder. And then you are, before you know it, you are in a cycle of not exercising your horse. And especially when your horse is suffering or recovering from laminitis, there's a lot of guilt involved. And that makes it even harder. And walking is an excellent exercise for horses, especially to start. You can ease your horse into it. It's really good for old horses, young horses. It's a really good foundation for even untrained horses or horses with minimum basic training. You can do a lot in hand walking your horse. So walking, even though in traditional training it's really frowned upon because you hand walk your horse to go somewhere, to go to the pasture or to take him out to the pasture, to the grooming place, or maybe you hand walk your horse as a cooling down exercise, but that's often about it. And if your horse is not ridden yet, then it's kind of acceptable to do that. But once you have an adult horse, even if it's mini, hand walking your horse is kind of weird because still a lot of people are um, of the opinion that you need to ride your horses and that horses need to work for their living. I completely disagree with that. I have horses for fun. They are my friends, they are my companions. They are not lesser than a riding horse. I enjoy them as much. And back about the hand walking your horse, it's a really good start to start exercising your horse. and your horse doesn't need to be sweating in order to for it to be working the exercise. You can exercise with hand walking. Hand walking is such a really good, strong foundation, and not many people are talking about it, and I think it's a shame. So I would love to see that changed, because the horse's body changed through consistent training, not only through intensity. I've heard many riders and instructors say that if you it didn't sweat during that riding, then it wasn't really good ride. And I just disagree, because you can have a really good workout without getting sore and without even a trot. It's the consistency that makes it really, really valuable. If you hand walk your horse just once, then yeah, every exercise that you just do once is not very helpful. But if you do it consistently for a couple of hours, a couple of days in a row, and days become weeks, weeks become months, then you absolutely will see a positive change in your horse, but also in the connection with your horse, because horses like to move, they like to walk. Walking is their go-to gait. So yeah, they are built for walking just like we are. So, if walking is something that you can do consistently, then walking is absolutely the best exercise. And then the next thing, oh, the school bus is coming. It's a little bit noisy. But the next thing that people then wonder is, but if I use positive reinforcement in hand walking my horse or exercising my horse at liberty, my horse stops for the treat, and won't he be standing still more than he is walking or moving? And that's a fear that a lot of people have. The other fear is, my horse is recovering from laminitis. I cannot give him treats. So let me be very clear. Every horse, sick or healthy, needs to eat. Treats, when I'm talking about treats, I just want to give you this information. What I use as a treat is usually just common horse food. It's nothing special, no molasses, no sugary, no peppermints, no high value other things like carrots or apples. Absolutely not. It's usually common grass pellets, hay savers, hay cubes, low, well, to them it's high value, but just normal horse food that they like, that they enjoy, and they want to work for. And that's enough. So every calorie that you use in your training, in your hand walking, you can deduct from their dinner or lunch or other meal of the day. So clicker training doesn't necessarily add calories to the horse. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is, in the beginning, yes, your horse will stop. And, hey, Odin. Yes, your horse will stop and needs to enjoy the food reinforcer that you're giving him. But that's only the first phase of training, that you reinforce the desired behavior, like, for instance, walking and stopping. And in the beginning, you will be standing still and giving a treat and waiting until the food is chewed and completely enjoyed, and then you wait until the horse is ready to walk again. So in the beginning, yes, you will stand still a lot, but there's a tipping point. In the beginning you stand still a lot, and then later, after a few sessions, or maybe within the first 10 minutes walking session, your horse will learn to understand that the forward moving is that what is being reinforced. And don't forget, if you have a consistent speed in walking, and in again in the beginning the horse determines the speed because you do something that is easy for him before you amp it up. After a while, after the warm up, the body broadcasting. Oh, there we are. Broadcasting. Oh, there we are. Oh, he just went for a roll, and it was super cute, but I lost connection for a bit. So yes, in the beginning, you will stand still, maybe a lot, in hand walking your horse when you use positive reinforcement. But there's a tipping point once your horse understands that the forward movement is reinforced and the whoa is reinforced, then the horse starts to pay attention and you can build duration. And once you build duration in the forward movement in hand walking, the body, after it's warmed up, the body will make endorphins. The walking in itself also becomes reinforcing because it feels good to move, and that's what we want. And you can accomplish that by hand walking, and you don't necessarily need to ride or trot or do high intensive exercises with your horse. So that's a little bit about using positive reinforcement in movement training. Yeah, in the beginning, it doesn't look like the end result, but that's something that you have to, yeah, have to deal with. And even if you don't up while hand walking, they want to check in what you want. They want to connect. Um, and if we let them and just that was the page flipping, and if we let them and listen to them and let them check in with us and stop, they also will start walking again once they are ready. So those are all connection moments that we can build in during our hand walk. So when the horse is stopping, it's not stubbornness, it's not disobedience, it's just checking in. Often that's the case. So and the next thing is that when you use positive reinforcement correctly, the horses don't offer less movement and you have to do more. It's the opposite. The horse offers more movement and you have to do less. And that's training. So I'm very excited about that. Um, yeah, so after a while, the duration and the flow in the hand walking will increase naturally. You build duration, and once your horse knows how to build duration, that is also a very important concept that you then later on can transfer to other gaits like trot or canter. Um, so the takeaway points is that the treats that you are using in the beginning are not used the same way when you are advancing your horse through positive reinforcement movement training. And the goal of the treats is not bribery, it's not creating dependency. The goal is to teach your horse the behavior that you want. And once it's connected with a positive thing, it becomes a positive experience, and the horse will start to offer it. And then clicker training becomes really a two-way conversation. And that's what I like best about the positive reinforcement training. It's a two-way communication, it builds trust. It builds consistency. You can give your horse choices without losing control. You can give him back his agency. And all these things will build on the real connection with your horse. Next thing, what I wanted to talk about. So, yeah, the foundations of using positive reinforcement for movement, including how to avoid stopping, mugging, frustration, are all things that are step by step trained inside the programs that I offer. Um, so now that the fear of positive reinforcement and using treats is handled, I hope you feel that it's very doable to start training your horse just by walking. Let's take a look at my notes. Let me see my notes. So once you start hand walking your horse and your horse starts to get used to what it is, and in my 10-10 challenge, it's 10 minutes a day for 10 consecutive days, and your horse decides when to stop and when to walk on. That's all allowed. He doesn't have to walk for 10 minutes in a row. We don't start with 10-minute duration. But if you hand walk your horse for 10 consecutive days in a row, you will notice that your horse starts to look forward to the hand walking, because a part of the hand walking is that it became very predictable. It's not hard. You are not over asking him. Maybe if you're going to walk out on the road, it's also a part of enrichment for them. They see new things, they experience other things, and if they know exercise is not going to hurt them, it's not going to be stressful for them, it becomes fun. And it's really the consistency that is your superpower in hand walking your horse. He's sniffing the finger that I hold the phone with. So, um, yeah, if you start hand walking just as an experiment for 10 days in a row, 10 minutes a day, you will start to notice a lot of things about training, about your own maybe prejudices that you have about training, that it needs to be hard, that it needs to be involve sweating or other things. But just starting 10 minutes a day 10 days in a row is such a really, really great start, because what you will notice is that the consistency pays off. The consistency is a part of the clarity that you offer your horse. Your horse then knows, okay, we're going for a walk. I know where we're going. I know how long we're going. It's not very long. It's just enough to be fun and exciting and enjoyable. And from there, you can take the next step in your training, whatever that is. But just starting with something easy will also make it easy for you. There is no thinking involved. You don't have to decide, do I have to trot right now? And he doesn't want to trot. How can I make him trot? All these things are taken out of your head. All those decisions that you are usually probably making, and that don't help making it easy and fun. It's just 10 days, 10 minutes of hand walking. Anybody can do it, and people discover amazing things when they start doing this. And that's what I like, because when I started to doing this for myself, I started to discover amazing things about this, about how the consistency is really, really the superpower. Yeah. So if you want to learn more about the 10-10 walking challenge, you can find it on clickertraining.ca/shop. In the 10-10 walking challenge, I guide you through it with daily emails to offer you suggestions, what you can pay attention to that day. um, and all kinds of things to yeah, improve the connection with your horse. You don't need clicker training experience to do the 10-10 challenge, because in the 10-10 challenge we are not working on that. We are focusing on building consistency in hand walking your horse. So you just need to have 10 minutes a day. You need to have a horse and a place to walk your horse. So it can be on the road, can be in the pasture, can be anywhere you want. Know more about it, you will get daily emails. There's a possibility as well for you to use hashtags to share your experience, what day you are on, if you like, and that's just that to see how much fun it can be to hand walk your horse. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked it, and I would like to say hello to everybody, Becky, Moody, and the others who were watching. Happy horse training!